Good evening, every pony, and this is Stick times 30. What? No, this is Dratta Arcana, and welcome to tonight's stream here at Gaming is Magic. Tonight we are going over something intriguing, intriguing as in colors. But something I'd like to point out real quick, I totally forgot that my OC was an alicorn. I can just hear everyone saying, lies, Dratta, lies. You always know that your OC is an alicorn because you go on and on about it being an alicorn. So, so anyways, tonight's stream is going to be something intriguing, something that I think that a lot of people are kind of expecting. Well, let's get right into it. When you're building decks, because we all like decks and everything, and decks are important, and you can't play the game without decks. I mean, you could just play with the problem deck. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but you could just play with the problem deck. Probably not, though. You're probably going to build a draw deck, and somewhere in that deck, you're going to have a card that has at least one of 6 different colors, unless it's a non-color, in which case, good on ya, because you're probably not running any colors, which is weird. Run colors! Ponies are colorful. Anyways, tonight's stream is about choosing your primary color. Last stream, we talked a little bit about secondary colors. We did not talk about secondary colors yet. That is coming. It's in the future. Spoiler alert. Though, I should have said spoiler alert first. We talked about splashing colors. And in that stream, I mentioned the term primary colors. And tonight is about choosing your primary color. How do you go about selecting the color that is the most beneficial to you? What color you want to start with. Now, I would have to say that most of the experienced players are going to find this stream kind of a little boring, because when choosing your primary color, it's usually just go off of whatever main you want to use. And that's how the competitive and experienced players are probably going to do it. They're probably going to build a deck around the main character that they want to use competitively, whether that's AJ, Ambassador of Honesty, Princess Skystar, and so forth. Tonight's stream, though, is going to be geared towards more, okay, I'm getting into the game. What should I start with? So we'll be going over each of the individual colors in terms of what if you were running that color as your primary color in your deck. And that is, and what those colors are going to do when they are a primary color. Now, keep in mind that some colors are better as a primary than others in competitive, but for all intents and purposes in casual play, which is most of the people that are probably going to be needing an idea of what to start with in terms of difficulty and so forth. And if anyone wants to stay out and chat when we're going over this, if they have any questions or anything on what to choose, please, by all means, let me know any questions you have throughout the stream. So let's get kind of, first things first. If you're starting out the game, you just looked at the rule book and you're like, what is this madness that is ponies? And you're doing one of these. Your Twilight Sparkle, like the plushie in my lap. Yes, I am holding my Twilight Sparkle plushie again. You can't see it, but I'm doing it again. I like my Twilight Sparkle plushie. You may have noticed that I do like Twilight Sparkle, but when you're freaking out about what to start with, how do you choose what color to go with when you're like, there's 6 colors to choose from. How do I build a monocolored deck? What color do I go with? What do I do? Whatever should I do? And you're crying. Well, Dratta's got your back, so you can go from looking like this to being Princess Luna and dancing all night long. Yes, that is a meme. It is now a meme. I am going to continue to rub this into the meme categories. Do a little dance like Princess Luna. Luna is a great dancer, and you need to dance and be happy and fun. So, how would you get from being a freaked out Princess Twilight Sparkle to being a dancing Princess Luna? And that's a great question. First, what we should do is, before we get into each individual color and the specifics of what you're going to use, let's go ahead and confirm what each color actually is and what actually the appropriate terms for the colors and so forth according to the rulebook. After all, you just read in the rulebook and there's nothing about color. I don't know, I actually haven't read the rulebook in a while, but I'm pretty sure the official rulebooks that come with those starting theme decks don't actually have a reference to color. Instead, it has a reference to this. The elements of harmony is the representation of each of the individual colors. So when I say color, you say ponies? And I say, no, that's not what we mean by colors. Sure, ponies are colorful, unless you're my OC, in which case you're just silver and blue, which is dull and boring and awesome. Yeah, about that. Anyways, so, if you remember from the show, each one of these characters in the show, you got Pinkie Pie, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, Twilight Sparkle, AJ, and Fluttershy. I do not need to lecture pony fans on this. If you're playing this game, you probably saw the show and saw there was a CCG, and you were like, ooh, cool, I want to learn this CCG. So I don't need to go over their names, because you probably saw the show. But the color of that pony is actually the representation of the color in the game. So, Pinkie Pie is a pink pony. Thus, pink, when we refer to pink, it means that its main focus is around laughter. So, of course, pink's technical term is actually laughter. So when you look at a pink card, it's actually laughter. That is the technical term for pink. Just like generosity is the color for white. Loyalty is the color for blue. Magic is the color for purple. Honesty is the color for orange. Kindness is the color for yellow. I love how they kept that consistency, because that kind of just like makes it help. So those are your colors. Technically, they're not colors, I guess. I guess a lot of us competitive players like to say colors. But technically, it's kindness, honesty, magic, loyalty, generosity, and laughter. And the color of the cards just happened to correspond with the color of one of the main 6. I don't know how many people actually looked at that, but that's more or less what happened. But otherwise, aside from that, choosing one of these can be the biggest challenge when building your very first deck. I know one thing. It took me a while to figure out what I was going to be good at in this game. And honestly, I play all 6 colors. So I like to goof around with every single type of deck I could possibly conceive of. And most people are just like, Dratta, we don't like you. And I cry. Because no one likes me. No one likes me. Even my Twilight Sparkle plushie doesn't like me. That would be odd to be sensitive to a plushie. But anyways, Dratta going insane again, like always. Dratta's always insane, just remember that. Um. Anyways, so let's go ahead and start getting into the very first color. So everyone kind of remembers when they're looking through cards and stuff, or they just get into the game. There's traditionally, I've noticed that a lot of people's favorite pony is either Twilight Sparkle or Rainbow Dash. There seems to be a common thread among the fandom and the CCG. So the first color we're going to look at, we're going to start with everyone's favorite Pegasus first, and I guess we'll end on everyone's favorite Alicorn. So let's go ahead and kick this off right off the bat. Now please note, I do not have cards to show you guys this time. This is more of a lecture base, so don't get bored of my Twilight Sparkling, because this is going to be a very Twilight Sparkle-ish stream. So it's going to be a lot of me talking, you guys looking at one slide, so try to bear with me. I try not to make them too Twilight-ish, but this is definitely going to be the way that this one's going to go. So let's jump right into blue. Good old Rainbow Dash. And I will have this up to show you that I'm talking about blue primary. So, you're going for a deck. You're a big Rainbow Dash fan. You're totally awesome. You're singing a very motivational speech to pirates, or you're flying around at rain boom sonic speeds, and you're flying with the Wonderbolts, and you're a Pegasus that lives in Cloudsdale, and you admire Rainbow Dash for her speed and everything. Well, blue has got you covered. I mean, really, the whole point of blue is movement. Oh, that's why blue has so much movement. Pegasuses can fly, which means that they're faster than every pony, meaning they can get around quicker. It makes sense that blue would have a lot of movement. Honestly, if we haven't figured this out by now, I think we're all in trouble. So anyways, blue's primary purpose is usually focusing around movement. And normally you're going to build a blue deck around movement, especially as a primary color. You're going to focus more on movement than if you would on anything else. But blue has another aspect to it that maybe not a lot of people remember, or that a lot of people have a challenge remembering. But blue has a good deal of frighten, which means you can run a blue primary as either a aggro deck or as a control deck, because blue will have the ability to frighten. So when you're building a blue deck, you're gonna want to consider, do I build this between movement or frighten? Now, if you're gonna go the frighten route, you're better off going into Harmony format, because then you can get cards like Goosebump Giver or the Nightmare Moon blue main, which causes frighten, and you get access to Scariest Cave in Equestria and all that. So if you're going to go the control route, you're better off going into Harmony with blue. But what's neat about blue in core is that it works well with other aggro colors. But blue as a primary is a very fast color. So you're probably going to be trying to aggro, which means that you're trying to score as many points as possible through movement. Now, mains like Scootaloo and mains like Princess Luna Dream Warrior, these are blue mains that are traditionally used as aggro mains. Scootaloo is very fast, and she causes movement. Princess Luna Dream Warrior, also known as Balloona in the competitive world, is also a movement heavy card. Now, Captain Solano is one of the newer blue mains, which actually turns into a combo deck, not an aggro deck. So blue's got a lot of awesome tricks up its sleeve in core to allow for either movement or combo. and point acceleration. It's a very good color for point acceleration, movement, and so forth. So when you're building a blue deck, you might consider, also a pirate deck. You might consider that. When considering blue, you have to remember that blue is designed to be fast and furious and to be awesome. Heh, heh, heh. Did you see what I did there? No, of course you didn't see what I did there. Rainbow Dash totally does not have the phrase all the time coming from her mouth that I am awesome. I mean, seriously, her ego's the size of a whale. I'll let the group ponder that for a sec. I mean, seriously, Dratta, enough with the memes, right? So, many of you might be saying, but Dratta, why would I want to build aggro? Why would I want to use blue? What's the point of using blue? You named Balloona. Well, I heard that that's a really hard card to get. Or, really? Captain Solano? What are you, insane, Dratta? First off, to answer the insane question, yes, I am insane. I'm insane because I play this game. No, that's not true at all. I think it's a very great game. But, I'm going through the ringer on myself tonight, apparently. Anyways, so, yes, Balloona is a very hard card to get. It's definitely a challenge to obtain. And honestly, Scootaloo is not all that hard to get. You can get Scootaloo pretty easily. It comes in the pre-release Marks and Time pre-release packs, which you can get from Enterplay for it's the same cost of a theme deck. You choose the main you want to obtain, and you can get Scootaloo. Honestly, Scootaloo is the best main to ever come out of that pre-release set. But normally, in a blue deck, you're going to be running things like Night Glider Overpowering, which is a very hard card to get. You can supplement it temporarily with things like Night Glider Swooper Duper or Night Glider She's On It, depending on which main you're running. You could also, getting Loyal Pony would be really easy, which is Rainbow Dash Loyal Pony, which is play this card, move, if you control another blue character, move it. So you get Winged Wonders. There's Spitfire, which gives, there's the Spitfire, I'm forgetting its subtitle right now, sorry folks, sorry every pony, but it gives you 3 Pegasus tokens. There's Torch. Torch is great for Frighten and stuff because it frightens at the end of the turn and retires at the beginning of your turn. So if your opponent doesn't rally their frightened friend, it's going to get retired. So all in all, blue is a very fun color. It's very fast. It likes to keep things at problems, which is good because the point of the game is to confront problems. So that's pretty much blue in a nutshell. There's not a whole lot that you can really do with blue. There's not really much else that blue will contribute to besides combo, aggro, and control. But there is something I need to mention. Thunder Lane. Running blue in Marks and Time, there was a card that was released for 4 AT, 4 color rack, 5 blue power. It had Hasty, Diligent 2, and immediate speed movement by removing a +1 power counter from it. And that was Thunder Lane. It was a very powerful card, and running a blue primary, you should probably think about running Thunder Lane because it will help give you the advantage in a lot of games. Plus, it makes it as a giant, it makes people go after your Thunder Lanes instead of your Night Gliders, and you don't want to lose Night Gliders. So anyways, blue, all in all, is pretty much all movement, hasty, a little bit of hasty, a lot of control, So that's blue in a nutshell. So if you're really like Rainbow Dash, there's a lot of good blue mains out there for you. And if you're a Luna fan, too. Next color on our list. Switching from blue, which is awesome and fast and completely cool and has an ego the size of a whale, we're going to go into the opposite spectrum. Ponies that are shy and like critters and token spam and really don't have a giant ego. What am I talking about? You guessed it, kindness. I swear, you all win a cookie. Better yet, you all get a free pet. Courtesy of Fluttershy. Fluttershy will all give you a bunch of pets and sing you a nice, cool song. If you had guessed it before I did. Only then. Anyways, Fluttershy. The best troll pony in the history of troll ponies. Just watch the movie. You'll know what I mean. If you can catch it. When you watch it. But, anyways, so kindness. What does the color kindness actually do as a main color? I'm going to get a lot of Chrysalis fan hate for this. I'm going to be called a traitor and everything. Just remember, I have said a million times, everything and everyone is a changeling to the end of time. What am I talking about? Thorax main. Yes, he's a traitor to the hive and all that. But you can't deny that he is a walking, talking monster of a card. Thorax. I wish I had it up right now, but Thorax is a confront the flip main with its boosted side being this card has +1 power for each of your friends with 2 or less printed power. Thorax is a tank. He can confront problems by himself. And he's just so strong because of the fact that it's just so strong because you're going to be able to confront solo because the whole point is to generate as many tokens as possible with him. And that is going to be the way that it's going to be. But anyways, besides Thorax, what does yellow actually do? I actually like Thorax a lot, so pardon my rambling here. But what does yellow officially do as a main color? Well, yellow is very much a token spam type of color. You're going to be dropping a lot of 1-power tokens and you're going to be generating them and so forth. So you got token spam, which is a form of aggro. Yellow has some control aspects in AT drain from your opponent. It does have a little, it also has calming, which calming is really good because if you have a character at a problem with calming 2, your opponent can play any friend they want. If it's got 2 or less power, it's going to have 0 power for the turn. That is some serious hardcore control right there. So yellow is very good about aggro and control as well. But there's another thing that yellow has that completely decimates every other color in the game. And if you haven't paid attention to most of my streams so far, I'm talking about Day Shift. Day Shift is a card, it's just way too good. And it's yellow. So Kindness has got all these cool tricks into getting critters into play, playing lots of critters, and aggroing completely. So if you like Fluttershy and you like having lots of characters on board, yellow is definitely the color for you. While blue is more about if you like to be bouncing things around and moving around a lot, blue is for you. While kindness is more about, do you like the concept of critters and do you like animals and stuff, you're probably going to use yellow. So that's probably going to be your primary color. Also, if you like generating lots of critters as your source of power, yeah, that's going to be you. You're going to be running yellow. Plus, if you really like Fluttershy, there's a lot of good Fluttershy cards out there, like Fluttershy Kind Pony. Backup vocals allows you to flip without needing to confront or whatever. But yeah, so yellow is definitely going to be more aggro-ish. But if you like also draining your opponent's friends of power and draining their AT as well, this is another color for you to consider. So that's pretty much yellow in a nutshell. I know that I'm not showing you guys cards. Please bear with me. A lot of times, I show a lot of cards in a lot of my other streams. So to talk about the different colors and what they do, I'd rather explain it than have to show you guys like every single card, because these cards have been mentioned. You could look them up on Ponyhead and so forth. So if you're looking to play yellow, if you're starting out and you really, and Fluttershy is your favorite character, you might consider building a deck around kindness, because yellow is going to give you a lot of different options. You can even run one of the Fluttershy mains that allows you to confront from home with her, so that works too. Next up is a color that, I'm just going to say this. Did you eat an apple today? Did any of you eat an apple today? If you did, and you like apple trees, and you like power, and you like big friends the size of a mountain, and if you like digging a trench to avoid a volcano, then the next color is for you. And I'll give you guys a second to recognize that meme while I switch slides. I'm talking about AJ. Buy some apples. Orange, also known as honesty, is not very nice in today's meta currently. There's a lot of good stuff in orange, but if you like Applejack, you like power, you like overwhelming your opponents with big, insane amounts of strength and might, and you don't want to be frightened, and you're not scared of anything, and you cause even more scenarios with giant power, then orange is for you. Orange is based around power and power counters and all that. Applejack is AJ, Ambassador of Honesty, currently is one of the best mains in the current core format. This is a deck where you're going to be focused around generating lots of power and so forth. If you like the concept of power and power counters and just making friends as big as possible, or you like flipping cards because that's fun, you're probably thinking, and you like AJ, she's your favorite Earth pony, and you like, I don't know, apple bucking season, and go crazy with bucking apples, and you nearly destroy Ponyville because you did it. The horror! The horror! I don't get it. I love how I say some of these memes. I mean, I don't actually say them. Dratta, you're on fire tonight. That's all I have to say. Wait, I am? Oh no! Ah! Fire, fire! Anyways, back to... I'm having too much fun with this. So yeah, Applejack is orange is a color where you're going to be using a lot of power, a lot of, you're going to want to keep things at problems. You're going to be confronting practically with one friend or one character. You're not really going to be doing it with multiple characters. And that's where orange really shines. I'm not going to mention the taboo word, farming. Uh-oh, I mentioned it. No, it's the apocalypse! Dratta has mentioned farming. I never mentioned farming because it's tabooed. I'm going to go over in my corner and farm some TMs and hide from the rest of the world while I farm TMs. Yeah, so anyways, if you're looking to get into the game, and you like lots of power, you like AJ, your starting primary color is probably going to be orange. And that's what I would recommend you do. Keep in mind that when selecting orange, you're going to be taking a few turns trying to build up AT to allow yourself to play your big friends. Because a lot of orange has high cost AT. So you're not going to be playing like a bunch of cards. Not like yellow or blue where you're going to be playing a gazillion different cards. But if you really like Applejack and it's your first time playing the game and you want a good color to get into, orange is definitely a good color. Same with blue and yellow. Those are definitely some of the three top colors to start with. So yeah, so that's orange in a nutshell. You have lots of power. You want to protect your friends. You want to be big and giant, and you're going to be honest about it because you're going to be like, honestly, my dear Fluttershy, I'm just going to confront this problem because I am going to defeat you with honesty. Because I can buck a tree and a boulder and a mountain. Because I am strong. I can't do that with a serious face. I really cannot. And that smile on Applejack's face is a sign that you know something is up. That is not a smile you want to see on a pony when it comes to the MLPCCG. You do not want to see that smile. That is like the smile of someone planning devious machinations and going like, wah ha 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 ha. You will not stop me from confronting this problem because I have 147 power. Seriously, I actually made a friend have 147 power. Through Infinite Loop, I've had a 10,000 power friend, I guess. But getting it to 147 without Infinite Loop is pretty darn impressive, I would have to say. Anyways, let's move away from big friends and honesty and stuff and move to the color. The rude color. So rude that if you run it, you are rude. Because seriously, everything is always more fun on the opposite side. The grass is always, what's the phrase? The grass is always greener on the other side of the haystack. And in this color, you know that your grass is greener than your opponent's. Because after all, you started the party. And you are crazy. The color is laughter. Woohoo! Yeah, woo! Party all night. Luna's there, party all night. And then I throw a pie. And now it's a food fight. Laughter. Laugh with me. Never a dull moment, I will say. Pink. Pink, 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 pink. You can tell that my energy on this color is completely gone. And it's not that it's bad. It's just, it's like this picture. It's insane. It's insanity. It's evil. I don't know about evil, but it definitely is a color that likes to party with your opponent's friends. So, you're that player. You like mind control. You like taking control of everything your opponent does. You like to party with your opponent's friends and send them away packing, away from your opponent, because obviously they had so much fun at your party that they forgot that they were supposed to go home, and they had to retire themselves to go to sleep because they had too much fun hanging out with you and all that shenanigans. Or they saw that you were that there were two drinking buddies and they needed to join that duo because they wanted the cider and everything. Well, that's pink for you. Pink is based around taking control of your opponent's friends, retiring them, but that's not all it does. It likes putting things into your hand. It likes drawing cards. It likes heavy removal. It does so much. It takes control of friends, and you draw a bunch of cards, and then you retire your opponent's friends to draw either more cards or remove things from your opponent. It likes to make seashell necklaces and decorative waste baskets and seashell decorative waste baskets. And it likes creating seashells and creating eccentric situations where it blocks your opponent from confronting. It likes to be quick and hasty in, because what better way to cause chaos than all of a sudden there's a friend there that wasn't there before. And yeah, so pink as a main color, you're probably going to use Sky Star because it's 7 pink rec right off the bat. But pink is a color that if you like causing mayhem and insanity and like talking to random things and a sack of flour and a pile of rocks, then this is probably for you. Also, fun. Where's the fun? Here's the fun. More fun. Fun. Sit down and watch paint dry, darn it. Pink is pink. Pink is a very fast color, that we cannot deny. It's definitely going to create a lot of copying and insanity and stuff. It's a color that has so many things that it can do. It's hard to know how to build a deck around it. I would definitely advise that if you're just starting out, you might want to hold off on pink because there's so much that pink does that it's hard to know how to actually build it. But pink is a great primary color. When choosing pink as your primary, keep in mind that when you're playing pink, that you're trying to focus more aggro-ish there's a lot of control elements, but none of it is really control heavy enough to actually make it a control color. It's a very aggro-ish color. It's very draw heavy. You're going to be drawing from your deck. So one of the things you risk when running pink is definitely drawing your whole deck. But it is a very chaotic color. So when choosing pink as your primary, it does a lot for you. Now keep in mind, I'm talking about primary colors. By no means am I saying that when you select these colors, that is the only color in your deck. Primary colors are the first color of your deck. Your primary color is the same color usually as your main. Unless you're me, in which case your primary color is generosity and you're running an orange main. So primary color is the color that you have the most in. And if you don't have the most of it, but your main is your primary color, or your main is that color, then that is your primary color. Pink on its own, I would say, is not phenomenal. It's not fantastic on its own. Unlike orange, which can solo itself, kindness and loyalty really can't solo themselves. But pink can't solo itself either. I mean, you could try to build a mono pink deck. Just know that you're going to struggle. So when choosing pink, keep in mind you're going to probably need a secondary color. Now, the next color we're going to talk about. We got 2 colors left, folks. 2 colors. So let's move on. And who likes dresses? Who likes accessories? Who likes jewelry? Who likes crystal headdresses? Who likes putting on a random outfit every 5 seconds? Well, if you do, then generosity is your color. And boy, does Rarity look gorgeous in that gown. We are talking upper class. We are the high class. We make money. We are business. We are fashionable. There are fashions, do's and don'ts, and duds. We make the perfect dress. We strive for the perfect outfit for all eternity. We also like to recycle our outfits, too, because that's always fun, right? And we like recycling friends. But you know what we don't like? We give our opponent's friends the kaboot because we don't want them going to the discard. We like banishing them. So, what is generosity? Generosity, honestly, is not the best primary color in the game. It is not a color that you're really going to associate as a main color. And some of you might be saying, but Dratta, I want to use white as my primary color. Why shouldn't I do that? And I'm going to tell you flat out, if you want to run white primary, all generosity mains are average. Except, there is an exception to the rule. And that exception, Octavia, standing ovation. Octavia is a very powerful main. Its boosted side gives you +2 power every time another character enters play, and it gives it +2 power to another character at that problem. That is so good. So white very much is usually either a secondary or you know, what is usually secondary or it's hereditary, or you splash into it. But white has a lot of recursion, So you're going to be getting things back to the discard. It thrives off of milling itself. And being able to play things from the discard, which means that it's a good color to splash into because it's got a lot of stuff that is really good for splashing. So white is a color where you're probably going to build it around recursion. You're going to be recurring things from your discard, or you're going to be banishing friends, banishing troublemakers, or you could focus it around accessories, where you put one friend out there, you equip a bunch of accessories, resources to that character to make them like totally beautiful and blingy and tons of jewelry and magic wings. So, or an alicorn costume, because who knows? Having 6 colors is always great. White is a color, or generosity is a color where it's great as a support color and stuff, but as a primary, you need to run it as aggro. So if you do like running a lot of accessories or playing a lot of control, or you really like cadence, you can always run Loving Ruler. I won't stop you from building whatever deck you want. I'm just here to tell you that white is going to be a challenging primary color unless you're running Octavia Standing Ovation. Otherwise, white is a very good color for recursion and so forth. So if you want to build a deck as a primary white, I would look at Capper Dapper Paws or Standing Ovation. Alright, I saved the best for last. And why is it best for last? Everyone's probably, you're all like, but Dratta, you went over 5 colors. What color could possibly be better than all the colors you've mentioned so far? Well, you know what makes this color special? It might not be special to you. It might not be special to every pony, but it is dear to my soul. It is dear to my heart. The color of my dreams, my Lunas, my Twilights, my magic. The color of the deck, the primary color of the deck that I started with. The color of magic. That is correct, folks. I started my first deck that I built in the MLP CCG was purple. That is correct. I started with Princess Twilight Sparkle, Ambassador of Friendship as my first main character. My first deck was a purple-blue deck focused around Frighten in AT Generation. I have long since taken that deck apart after gaining lots of experience, but purple is what I started with. And what does purple get you? Purple is a control color. It can be aggro. It does a lot of banishing of resources and friends and so forth. It does a ton of AT generation. Every AT generating card in the game, besides 2, which are resources. So, out of every friend in the game that generates AT, believe it or not, well, I mean, okay, I shouldn't say every friend that generates AT in the game. I should say every friend that you would exhaust to gain an AT in the game has purple rec in it, or purple power. Sunburst, which is a purple-yellow card for 3 AT, immediate speed, exhaust, gain an AT. Applejack, Factory Organizer, orange-purple. It's immediate speed, gain an AT. Cover to cover, gain an AT. All-Team Organizer is purple, gain an AT. So, purple is focused around AT generation, Frighten, it's got some movement cards. It's got immediate speed movement. It's got a lot going for it. Purple right now is really strong. It's got immediate banish and return. It can cycle through cards very quickly. Its problems are really insanely good. I mean, you got Tiny Troubles, you got Entrance Exam, you got Trouble with Trixie, you got a whole bunch of different things in it. It's a very powerful color. There's just so much purple can do right now in today's world, and so if you're going to start with purple, like I did, you're probably a Twilight Sparkle fan. You probably like Princess Luna. I love Princess Luna. That is my favorite princess, personally. I do like, and Twilight Sparkle is up there too. But purple has a piece in my heart. It always will. I always have the most fun playing this color. Maybe not competitively. Maybe I won't be able to play it competitively. Maybe I won't be able to play it in any competitive deck besides one deck. But besides that, purple is a very strong color. Not the least of which, Tempest Shadow Mane is currently one of the strongest mains right now in today's format. And most purple cards are either Twilight Sparkles or Princess Lunas. So it wins in my book. It totally wins in my book. And that's all I have to say. It holds a piece in my heart, but it might not in yours. So if you like control, you like forced movement, you like banishing things only to have it return somewhere else, you like doing shenanigans with random stuff or causing or to banish resources, purple is a very good color for you. You're going to be using this, basically think of it this way: purple is a lot of events, so you're casting spells. That's a good way to look at it. That's kind of the focus on purple, is it's focused a lot around your events. Now the events can do a variety of different things, but it is definitely focused around teleporting, movement, failed movement, or forced movement, TM locating. It's based around all that. And it very much is a control color. You can try to run it aggro. I don't know if you're going to be able to pull that off real well, but this is definitely a control color. You're not going to be able to use this color in pretty much any other style. Maybe farm if it was Harmony, but you're definitely not going to be able to use this color in core as a farming tool. So that's the gist of it. So we got about 7 minutes left before the stream is almost over. There are a couple more things I need to touch on. So don't go anywhere. There's still more to come, actually. So I mentioned every single color. Great! We just covered every color. Didn't we, folks? And now comes the shocker. What if I told you that we have not covered all the colors? What if I told you we've covered only 6 out of the 7 colors? And you would be like, Dratta, what are you talking about? You're insane. There's no other color in the game. There can't be. It's just not possible. How is it possible? And I'd be like, I don't know. How is it possible? Twilight, help me! And Twilight's freaking out too. She's like, but how? How can there be more colors than 6? This makes no sense. And Luna keeps dancing. Anyways, there is another color to mention, and technically it's not a color, so yeah. Don't worry, I'm getting to it. It's called non-color or no color cards. It's called none, actually, in the color. None is generally cards that don't actually have a color but are able to color fix, to change something into a color. You can run a primary non-color deck. What? What? What is this shenanigans? There's a deck based around non-color? How can that be? That's not possible. There's no physical way. My mind just exploded. Kaboom! Yes. After the dramatic stuff, there is a main card, a main character card, that is actually no color. It's called Changeling Pretender. It could be Cadence. Or it could be Queen Chrysalis. It could be Princess Mia More Cadenza. But it doesn't have a color. It starts with a color that you choose, but it does not actually physically have a color. So technically, you can run a non-color primary deck. That is possible. So that's just for all you naysayers out there that are like, but Dratta, there's another color. It's called none. And I'm like, yes, I know there's a non-color in the deck. But anyways, guys, those are the primary colors and what they would do kind of as a primary, and why you would choose that color and what you're going to get out of choosing that color as your primary. Like I said, a really boring stream and so forth. Now that we have the stream out of the way and we have like 3 minutes, let me go over some quick news real quick. Once again, guys, this is my 6th stream that I have done. It is my 7th pony video. So make sure you check out my YouTube. It is linked in the posts on my Twitch channel. Please subscribe, like, whatever you're going to do. Thank you once again for watching. Like I've always said, I just like making videos. And I hope you guys learned something in this stream. I hope you guys learn a lot of stuff in this stream. Please tell people about, these streams. These are deck building streams designed to help you, the players. They're very general because of the fact that I don't feel comfortable enough yet to be doing extreme in-depth rules yet. Those are coming. I actually have one stream that's already been pre-built, but I'm waiting to go through a few more tournaments myself to be able to actually properly explain that stream. So once again, guys, I will be at TrotCon, BronyCon, Ponyville, Cider Fest, and Gen Con. Look for me at those cons. If you want to play against me, remember I am playing games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Associated Times. There's a Reddit post and a Facebook post. Fridays 7 to midnight. Saturdays are 2 to 9, and Sunday is 2 to 5. I am playing competitively, testing my competitive decks. If you don't want to play competitively, by all means, play with your meme decks or whatever. But so yeah, so if you like this stream, thank you all for attending, and as always, from Gaming is Magic, this is Dratta Arcana, and you all have a spectacular night. I hope Luna gives you peaceful dreams and loving dreams, and I hope that the Tantabus doesn't come and ruin your night. Otherwise, guys, I will see you next week. Oh, next week, before I forget, um, is going to be a update stream. Starting here in an hour is going to be Commentary is Magic. They're going to be looking at combo decks, so definitely check that out. They'll be going over combo. So this is actually a good starting stream for that, and if you check out Commentary is Magic in an hour, they will be going over combo, so you'll learn a little bit more about combo. As always, guys, once again, this is Gaming is Magic, and this is Dratta Arcana, and I hope to see you soon. Don't hate on the Alicorn OC, folks. Don't hate on it. Seriously, I'm warning you. Well, have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you guys next week. So long.